9 hidden things a narcissist wants from you during no contact. You've made the courageous decision. You've cut the cord, closed the door, and perhaps, with trembling hands, activated no contact. This isn't just a physical separation, it's a profound declaration of independence, a desperate act of self-preservation after enduring the relentless emotional drain of a narcissistic relationship. But in the quiet aftermath, a perplexing question often arises. What is really happening on their side of the silence? Are they simply moving on, blissfully unaware of your absence? Are they truly indifferent, or is there a hidden, often sinister, psychological battle being waged in their minds? A secret list of cravings they desperately wish to extract from you, even during the silence of no contact. If you've ever felt the unsettling pull of their absence, if you've wondered what they truly want from you even when they're not explicitly reaching out, then this discussion is for you. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on 9 hidden twisted things a narcissist desperately craves from you during no contact, revealing their true motivations and empowering you with the knowledge to fortify your boundaries, resist their insidious pull, and truly liberate yourself. This isn't about giving you false hope. It's about giving you the vital enlightenment to understand their pathology and protect your precious peace. Let's step into this crucial and deeply validating discussion. And as we uncover these often overlooked yet profoundly impactful psychological dynamics, I kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button to help this message reach more people who desperately need this understanding, and share this video with anyone who might be navigating the challenging terrain of no contact. Your engagement is invaluable and helps us continue to shed light on these critical topics. The decision to implement no contact is arguably the most powerful act of self-preservation a survivor of narcissistic abuse can undertake. For the narcissist, however, it is a profound and deeply painful narcissistic injury, a wound to their fragile ego that strikes at the very core of their fabricated reality. No contact signifies a complete loss of control, a direct challenge to their omnipotence, and a sudden, terrifying cessation of their lifeblood, narcissistic supply. When you cut off all avenues of communication, no calls, no texts, no social media interaction, no mutual friends passing messages, you plunge them into a state of psychological chaos. They may project an image of indifference or even celebrate your departure to others. But internally, a storm rages. Their actions, or lack thereof, are not passive. They are strategic manifestations of desperate cravings. It's vital to understand that these cravings are not about love, regret, or genuine remorse. They are solely about their pathological needs for supply, control, validation, and the relentless maintenance of their false self. The first, and perhaps most primal hidden thing a narcissist wants from you during no contact, is any form of reaction or emotional supply, regardless of its nature. To a narcissist, attention, whether positive or negative, is like oxygen. Your silence during no contact is a deprivation they find agonizing. They don't just want you to miss them, they want you to react. They crave your anger, your sadness, your frustration, your fear, even your confusion. Why? Because any emotional output from you validates their perceived importance. It confirms they still have an impact, that they still exist in your mind, and that their power over you hasn't entirely vanished. This craving is why they resort to hoovering tactics, breadcrumbs text, calls from unknown numbers, flying monkeys, sudden emergencies, or vague messages about closure. They are testing the waters, hoping to elicit even a tiny flicker of response that can be spun into supply. If you break no contact to yell at them, cry, or even simply ask them to stop, you've inadvertently given them the very thing they crave, proof that they still hold power over your emotional state. This leaves you feeling constantly under siege, and if you succumb, you instantly reinforce their belief that they can always pull you back into their drama. Secondly, a narcissist profoundly wants to reestablish absolute control and dominance over you, your life, and your narrative. Your act of going no contact is the ultimate defiance, a direct challenge to their fundamental need for control. They despise feeling powerless, and your autonomy during no contact is a glaring symbol of their lost power. They crave to reassert their dominance, to prove that you cannot simply walk away and truly be free. This craving manifests in their attempts to regain control of the narrative, painting you as crazy, unstable, or the aggressor to mutual friends or family. They might contact your workplace or spread rumors in your social circle. They want to dictate how you are perceived and how you live your life, even in your absence. This need for control is so pervasive that they will expend enormous energy attempting to manipulate circumstances to force you back into their orbit, or at least to prove that they still have a say in your life. This leaves you feeling constantly surveilled, your reputation under threat, and the chilling realization that their attempts to control you extend far beyond the direct relationship, instilling a lingering sense of fear and insecurity. A third hidden desire that gnaws at a narcissist during no contact is to confirm that you are still pining for them, suffering profoundly, and ideally, completely miserable without them. This craving directly feeds their grandiose ego. They believe they are so magnificent, so indispensable, that your life must crumble without their presence. They crave proof that you are perpetually heartbroken, unable to move on, and perhaps even begging for their return. This validates their self-importance and reinforces their internal narrative that they are the center of the universe. They will covertly or overtly seek information about your well-being. They might send flying monkeys to check on you, or stalk your social media for any sign of sadness or despair. If you appear to be thriving, it inflicts a massive narcissistic injury. This desire isn't about missing you. It's about seeing evidence of your suffering as a testament to their power. This leaves you feeling the immense pressure to perform happiness, to hide your genuine struggles, and to live in a constant state of vigilance, knowing that any visible sign of pain will be weaponized against you. Fourthly, the narcissist desperately wants to re-engage you in their personal drama triangle, the cycle of victim, persecutor, and rescuer, where they can cast you in any role that serves their current need for supply. During no contact, they lose their primary sparring partner and their most reliable source of drama. They crave to pull you back into the chaos, to reignite the familiar patterns of conflict and reconciliation, because this dynamic provides them with intense emotional supply. They might present themselves as the victim, e.g., "I'm so lost without you, I'm sick and alone," hoping you'll rush in as the rescuer. Or they might provoke you into anger, persecutor role, so they can then claim victimhood. They crave the complex dance of manipulation, knowing that pulling you back into the drama validates their existence and distracts them from their inner emptiness. This leaves you feeling perpetually caught in their chaotic emotional landscape, constantly trying to escape a cycle that seems to have no end, and struggling to maintain your own emotional stability when they are so adept at pushing your buttons. A fifth sinister thing a narcissist wants from you during no contact is to actively damage your reputation and execute a comprehensive smear campaign. If they cannot control you, they will control the narrative about you. They crave to destroy your credibility, undermine your character, and isolate you from your support system. This is an act of revenge, a way to punish you for abandoning them in their twisted perception and to mitigate the narcissistic injury caused by your no contact. They will fabricate stories, exaggerate your flaws, twist facts, and present themselves as the innocent victim of your irrationality or abuse. They want others to believe you are the problematic one, thereby protecting their own fragile public image. This craving is rooted in their pathological fear of exposure and their need to always be seen as perfect. This leaves you feeling utterly betrayed, bewildered by the shifting allegiances of mutual friends, and battling a hidden war for your integrity and reputation in social circles. Sixth, a narcissist intensely wants to prove to themselves and others that they were right about you all along, and that your departure or their discard of you was entirely your fault. Their fragile ego cannot admit fault or take responsibility. They desperately crave external validation for their self-serving narrative, which always casts them as the victim and you as the aggressor, the crazy one, the one who ruined everything. During no contact, they lose the ability to gaslight you directly, so they seek to prove their righteousness through their actions and words to others. They might claim you abandoned them, you were abusive, or you were never truly committed, This craving is a desperate attempt to maintain cognitive dissonance, to avoid confronting their own culpability and the inherent flaws of their false self. This leaves you feeling unfairly accused, constantly questioning your own memories and sanity, and grappling with an immense sense of injustice, as your efforts to heal are undermined by their persistent character assassination. Seventh, a narcissist will incessantly crave to test your boundaries and ascertain your level of weakness or resolve regarding no contact. They see boundaries not as protective lines but as challenges to be overcome. During no contact, they are constantly probing, subtly or overtly, to see if you will break. This craving is about confirming their power. They want to know if they still have access to you, if your resolve is weak, and if they can still manipulate you back into their orbit. This is why hoovering attempts can be intermittent and escalate over time. They are collecting data points on your resilience. Every time you respond, even with anger, you signal a crack in your boundary, which fuels their desire to continue testing. This leaves you feeling constantly on guard, exhausted by the vigilance required, and struggling with the internal pressure to break, fueled by guilt, fear, or a desire for closure they will never provide. Eighth, the narcissist secretly wants to gather information about your life, your new relationships, or your progress, purely for comparison, envy, or strategic planning. Even during no contact, their fixation on you doesn't necessarily cease. They crave knowledge about your current circumstances to feed their malignant envy or to strategize future hoovering attempts. They want to know if you're thriving, which infuriates them, if you've found a new partner who they will immediately compare themselves to, or if you're experiencing any difficulties, which would bring them perverse joy. This information serves as supply, allowing them to either revel in your perceived misfortune or feel enraged by your happiness. This craving is driven by their competitive nature and their inability to let go of any potential source of supply or target for their projection. This leaves you feeling constantly exposed, as if your private life is still under surveillance, and struggling with the unsettling awareness that your healing journey might be fueling their envy rather than prompting remorse. Finally, the ninth hidden thing a narcissist deeply wants from you during no contact is to alleviate their profound boredom and escape the haunting emptiness of their own inner world. When you were their primary source of supply, you provided constant entertainment, drama, validation, and a distraction from their own unbearable self-loathing. Your absence creates a void, a chilling silence where their inner demons can whisper loudest. They crave to pull you back into their drama, not because they love you, but because you provided a reliable source of stimulation that prevented them from being alone with themselves. They don't have a stable sense of self or an internal wellspring of joy. Thus, they are perpetually bored and restless. You were a dynamic project, a source of endless supply, and your absence leaves them confronting the very emptiness they desperately try to escape. This leaves you feeling the weight of their profound emptiness, as if you were merely a utility to fill their void, underscoring the dehumanizing nature of the relationship. Understanding these 9 hidden cravings is not about understanding love or genuine human connection. It's about understanding the relentless, self-serving, and often cruel psychological machinery of the narcissistic mind. These cravings reveal the desperate state they are in, deprived of their primary supply, and underscore why your continued no contact is the most potent weapon against their pathology. If recognizing these deeply unsettling, often hidden cravings in the narcissist's behavior during your journey of no contact has brought a profound sense of clarity to your own confusing and often painful experience, if it has truly validated the unsettling feelings you've carried, those gut instincts that told you something was profoundly wrong, then please internalize and truly understand this fundamental truth. Their relentless, desperate attempts to re-engage with you, their subtle, insidious probings into your life, and every single one of those hidden, manipulative desires we've discussed are absolutely not about any semblance of genuine love for you. They are not born of true remorse, nor do they stem from any authentic desire for reconciliation in a healthy, loving way. Instead, these actions are solely, exclusively, and entirely about their profound pathological need for narcissistic supply, that vital attention and validation. their insatiable craving for absolute control over you and your reality, and the constant frantic maintenance of their fragile, utterly false self. Your courageous and deliberate decision to implement no contact, to completely sever all ties and close every door, is far more than just a physical separation. It is a powerful, transformative act of radical self-love, and it directly and powerfully challenges their deepest, most profound psychological vulnerabilities, striking at the very core of their fabricated existence. Armed with this vital, illuminating enlightenment, this newfound understanding of their internal landscape, you possess the incredible capacity to strengthen your resolve against their relentless pressure. Recognize that their various attempts to contact you, to provoke you into a reaction, to subtly hurt you or to covertly monitor your life, are in fact not signs of their inherent strength or continued power over you. Quite the opposite. They are glaring indicators of their profound desperation, their deep-seated insecurity, and the very real psychological torment they experience when deprived of your supply. Every single time you steadfastly maintain no contact, every single instance you refuse to react to their provocations, to their bait, or to their veiled messages, you are effectively denying them the very supply they so desperately crave. And in that powerful act of denial, you are actively reclaiming a significant piece of your own inherent power, gradually dismantling their illusion of control over you. Now more than ever is the time to focus fiercely and intentionally on your own profound healing journey, on the deliberate and joyful process of rebuilding your life from the ground up, brick by beautiful brick, and on nurturing authentic, reciprocal connections with people who genuinely see, respect, and cherish you for who you are. Remember this truth deeply. Your hard-won peace of mind, your precious sanity, and your fundamental human freedom are not negotiable under any circumstances. So stay strong in your resolve, stay silent in your boundaries, and most importantly, stay free, knowing you are breaking cycles and reclaiming your authentic self. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us today, for daring to look at these uncomfortable, yet ultimately liberating truths, and for bravely taking these courageous steps towards your own complete and profound liberation.